The Kaweco Liliput is a pocket-sized fountain pen and the most compact pen in Kaweco's lineup. It's primarily made out of metal and it's available in a variety of finishes, but I have this one in copper. Because it is a raw copper, it does develop patina, which is a discoloration over the surface of the pen as a result of oxidation as well as oils such as those on your fingers. And I'll do a direct comparison of this pen when it was first unboxed versus now after about a month of daily use. The top finial is rounded and it features the Kaweco logo, which has the initials of the founders and CEO for company. Then we can see more branding towards the top of the cap. It says Kaweco Liliput, Germany. There is no clip, but you can purchase one separately. The cap is short and straight and it comes off in 1, 2, 3, and about a half turns to reveal a fully exposed stainless steel nib. This is the same nib that we see on the Kaweco Sport. It has scroll work on the top, the Kaweco logo, and I have this in an M for medium, but you can get it in a variety of other sizes. And on the back, we can see a black plastic feed with some branding in the middle. The section is fairly short and hourglass in shape, and then we have threads which are smooth to the touch. The barrel is also fairly short and straight, and then we have threads which are also smooth to the touch, followed by a rounded off end finial. The pen in the hand is extremely compact, not at all suitable for long writing sessions or really short notes, but I think you could get away with using this for quick tally marks. And luckily, the cap posts securely and deeply thanks to those threads in the back, and it transforms this pen into a full-size fountain pen. It has really nice heft thanks to that copper construction, and the balance is excellent. It is on the narrow side for fountain pens, but I find the section to be quite comfortable, and because of that hourglass shape, my fingers don't slip towards the nib. In terms of size comparisons, here's the Kaweco Liliput, a standard Pilot G2 rollerball pen, and your typical Sharpie. And here they are posted. Before we disassemble the Kaweco Liliput, I wanted to take a moment to compare it with a few other pocket-sized fountain pens. Up top, we have the Traveler's Company fountain pen, which is just about the same size as the Liliput. And I am considering doing a direct shootout between these two models. Let me know in the comments below if that is something you'd be interested in seeing. The Traveler's Company fountain pen is made out of brass, so it looks a little bit more yellow compared to the copper finish on this Liliput. Also, the Traveler's Company fountain pen comes with a bent metal clip, which is removable, and the Liliput doesn't come with a clip. Below the Liliput, we have the Kaweco Brass Sport, which also doesn't come with a clip, but you can purchase it aftermarket, and this one is a bit wider and longer than the Liliput. Also, the cap on the Brass Sport dominates the length of the pen compared to the Liliput, which is a little bit more balanced. And below the Brass Sport, we have the Pilot E95S, and this is the only resin-based fountain pen on the table today. It is the longest of the pens as well, and it's the only pen that has a fixed spring-loaded clip. Let's take a look at these pens with their caps removed. Both of the Kawecos have caps that unscrew. The Traveler's Company fountain pen and the Pilot E95S have caps that pull off. Let's take a closer look at these sections and nibs. Both of the Kawecos have the same stainless steel nib. The Traveler's Company fountain pen also has an exposed stainless steel nib, but it's only available in a fine. And the E95S has an inlaid 14 karat gold nib. The section on the E95S tapers towards the back of the pen. Both of the Kawecos have hourglass shaped section. The Sport has a thicker section compared to the Liliput. And the Traveler's Company fountain pen has a section that starts straight and then tapers up to the barrel. Let's take a look at these pens with their caps posted. All caps post securely. The Liliput is the only one with a screw to post cap, and it is the most compact of the pens on the table. The longest pen with the cap posted in this case is the E95S. In order to disassemble the Kaweco Liliput, no tools are required, but you might find gripping materials are useful to have. The cap unscrews from the pen, And if we take a look inside, we can clearly see there is no cap liner. This entire unit is just made out of copper. So for cleaning purposes, I would run it under warm water or soak it with a little bit of mild detergent. The barrel unscrews from the section, and that's it for the barrel. And then if we want to remove the nib and feed from the grip section, we'll grab it with the gripping materials and give it a counterclockwise turn. And we'll see that those are held together inside this nib collar. Again, hugging the nib and feed, we can give them a pull and they'll come right out. And then the nib and feed can be separated just like that. And at this point, the pen is fully disassembled. In order to reassemble, I'm going to grab the nib and feed. The feed has a recess in the front with a step up, and that's there to secure the nib in place. And I was a bit surprised to see that there is no key on this nib collar. Since this does unscrew from the grip section, there's a chance that the feed and nib might freely spin inside this nib collar and you won't be able to remove it. So that's a little disappointing to see. But we'll go ahead and just push the nib and feed inside that and then give it a clockwise turn into the grip section. And then we'll reattach our barrel, followed by our cap. And at this point, we're ready to ink up. In order to ink up the Kaweco Liliput, you may be tempted to try to use the converter that is compatible with the Kaweco Sport. This is a push-pull style converter, and it is quite small, but unfortunately it is not compatible with this model, and I'll show you why. I took off the cap of the pen, and now I'm removing the section as well. The converter does push inside the section just fine, but when we reinstall the barrel, and then if I uninstall the barrel, we'll see that the plunger has now extended about halfway into the converter. And that means if there was ink inside this converter, you would have a pretty big mess on your hands with ink spewing out of the nib. So unfortunately, it is not compatible with this converter. And that means that you are stuck using international short cartridges, which are okay because they are available in a wide variety of colors. I have this variety pack that came from Diamine, and today I selected chocolate brown, which I feel like matches the finish of this pen pretty nicely. Simply insert that short cartridge into the back of the section, reattach the barrel of the pen, followed by the cap. We'll let the pen rest for a few moments and then we'll be ready to write. Okay, writing with the Kaweco Liliput. Cap unscrews and I am going to post it. And today we have a stainless steel medium nib. And it's a beautifully tuned nib. It's extremely smooth with just a hair of feedback. It's very wet, but it doesn't have very much bounce. And I think that's okay. In this form factor, I don't think most people will be using this for slow paced writing. They'll probably use it for quick notes. In terms of ink, we have a Diamine today. And it's called Chocolate Brown. For flex, I'll turn the page. As I mentioned, not much line variation to be had. You do push out a bit of ink when you put a little bit of pressure on the nib. For reverse writing, very dry, hardly legible. It feels smooth to the page for what that's worth, but it's not really at all putting down much ink, so I wouldn't consider it a good reverse writer. And I think that's probably unique to this nib. You might have a little bit of variation from one pen to the next. So what do I think of the Kaweco Liliput? I really like this pen. I think that it's extremely charming, very compact, and pretty much the ultimate pocketable pen. Its streamlined looks and heft means that you're not really going to see it in your pocket, but you are going to feel it and know that it's there. The weight on this copper construction is fantastic. It makes it feel like a very premium writing instrument, but at the same time, you can purchase this in aluminum for a much lighter feel, and that's available in many different colors, which is great to see. Also, I really like the nib. I think that it's very smooth and a very well-tuned nib. Also, I like that it's available in many different sizes, so you can choose the exact nib that suits your writing. Now, do I think this is the perfect pen? No, I think there's certainly room for improvement. I think probably one of the biggest room for improvements with this pen is the fact that it doesn't accept a converter. That is quite limiting. Yes, there are many different inks available in international short cartridges, but if you want to use your favorite bottle of ink, you're kind of stuck resorting to eyedropping a cartridge, and that's not really ideal. Another area where I think this pen might not be for everyone is the slimness of this pen. It is quite slim, and it feels that way in the hand. Personally, I like using slim pens, but I know a lot of people that prefer more girth. And in the hand, the Kaweco Sport just feels quite a bit thicker, especially with this wide cap. I also have a few issues with this cap itself. I think the number of turns to take it off is pretty excessive at 3.5. I would have liked to see closer to 2 or maybe 1.5. But I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword because at the same time, that does make it feel like it is very secure and not going to get loose in your pocket. Also, as I showed, there is no cap liner in this cap, and I don't know if that's the exact reason why, but I do on occasion experience dryouts with this pen. If I leave it unused for about a week, it usually does take a few strokes before the ink will start flowing. And then lastly, probably one other issue I have with this pen, it's kind of disappointing that there is no clip included with the pen. You can purchase one, as I mentioned, but at an additional cost. And I feel like, especially at this price, that's a little bit of nickel and diming. But overall, I do think this is a fantastic pen, a truly pocketable pen with a great writing experience and a very reliable nib. And if you don't like the copper or brass or steel version of this pen, you can get it in aluminum with many different colors, so you can mix and match this pen with your favorite ink. And that just leaves me to say, thank you for watching.